welcome to my Career in 10 Minutes channel. Right now we are speaking from Poland to Canada with Peter Long, actor, singer, producer, person who is very busy scheduled and had time to speak with us. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
I would like to start from beginnings of your career. Right now, we can see on magazine covers, we can see you in films. You are busy scheduled, working. But I would like to start from beginning of your career. How does it start, and where did this idea to be an actor, singer come from? What was your motivation to become person that you are right now?
From a very, very young age, I was a musician. I played guitar from very, very, very young. I started out about 4 years old. And I got into guitar because this house that my family and I moved into from an apartment, we moved into a smaller home. And this home came with a guitar. It just had an acoustic guitar that came with the house, and it was broken and like bad action and missing strings and blah blah blah. But my mom would like watching a TV show, a popular TV show in the day called Days of Our Lives,
Mm-hmm.
and the melody of Days of Our Lives is kind of like an iconic theme. And I picked out the melody of Days of Our Lives, and I was like 3 years old or something. And I picked out the melody of this tune, like "Mommy, Mommy, Mommy, here's your song." And she's like, "Okay, maybe he's meant to be a musician." So she played piano growing up in Guyana,
Mm-hmm.
um, put me into guitar. So I played guitar at the Yamaha Music School. My teacher, Greg Stone, shout out Greg, my very first teacher. I was there for about 4 years, 5 years maybe. And then he said to my mom one day, "Listen, I can make him a good guitar player. I can never make him a great guitar player. You should go to the Royal Conservatory."
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing the Royal Conservatory system, and then, long story short, I did the Royal Conservatory system, got my accolades in guitar playing and classical guitar playing, did the university thing for music, and so that's the music side of things. At the same time as all of the music stuff, I was doing a bit of acrobatic stuff and all like that kind of stuff. That's where the circus comes in, where that performance side comes in. Acting wise, though, I got into a back door because I could flip. Like I was able to do acrobatic type stuff. I did a lot of music videos in Toronto and some in the States, shot out in Brooklyn or New York, places like that. A lot of music videos. I was a dancer in a lot of music videos. Then my agent at the time started sending me out for bigger speaking role things. Big, I should say bigger, smaller, like little one-liner kind of things, right? Where I say hello or yes, no, like really like small one-liner things. And then it just snowballed to more and more and more and more and more. And then I landed a movie with Robin Williams and Ed Norton called Death to Smoochie. Um, and that kind of was like the my first really large gig. Before that, I landed American Psycho. Everyone seems to like that one. I was in American Psycho. I had a small role in American Psycho, but my first kind of like long-winded production, I was on Death to Smoochie for like 2 months or something like that. So it was my first big kind of everyday going to work as an actor thing. So that's how I got the acting bug. But all of the things that I do are kind of the same to me. There's no difference, at least in my brain, composing a tune or learning a script or editing a movie. Like there's kind of no difference to me. They're all basically the same thing for a different effect and a
Okay,
different
so
outcome.
you're working. You know, it's very often it's something that I do meet with that young people think, unfortunately, that if they would like to be a singer, if they would like to be a movie star, they can avoid situation like casting. They can avoid situation like meeting with director. How does it look for you? from small role to biggest role, but these meetings with director, with people who cast you for any film, any role, how does it look? Is there any difference between a level of stress that you had at the beginning and level of stress that you have right now when you have to meet with some director and speak about any cooperation for a new film, new project, new any idea that they may have for you?
Um, I've learned throughout the years of doing it that worry doesn't help you,
Mm-hmm.
right? I try I try my best to mitigate any kind of stress before auditions or before kind of meetings. But also like I'm older now, man. I think when I was younger, as a teenager, early 20s, it was really, really important, right? I put a lot of gravitas, a lot of importance
Mm-hmm.
to this thing that's completely outside of myself. As I've grown older in the business, been around the block a couple times, I don't stress over things that I can't control. People will tell you things, people will blow smoke up your ass, people will tell you you suck, people will tell you you're great. None of that matters because that's completely out of your control. The only things that are in your control as an actor is whether you're off book and your delivery. At the end of that, at the end of all of my auditions these days, I forget about them all. I couldn't tell you what I did, right? I do it, I finish it, I send it off. I couldn't tell you what it is. I have no idea what my lines are. They're gone. And I do that purposely because if I keep all of the characters that I audition for, which as an actor, you're doing it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If I keep them all in my brain, first of all, the brain is finite. You can only put so much stuff in there until like other stuff gets pushed away.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, there's no point in um, stressing over things that you have zero control over. So what happens in the audition process is you get the audition from your agent, right? Do you want to do it? Here's the breakdown of the role. You read it. Yes, cool. I'll do it. Then you send out the tape, or well, send out the tape now before you have to go into the room. But now you send out a tape, and then once you sent out the tape, it is completely out of your control. There is zero things that you can do. There's zero things your agent can do
Yeah,
until you
sometimes
get
this
the
case,
call back.
I don't know, mood of cast, yes, and audition is depending, I don't know, mood of people that are watching your tape, and that's all. You have no control on anything that might happen.
Well, because I'm on both sides, I have casted things like I'm shooting a movie right now. I'm doing a horror movie right now, that is co-written by myself and my partner Adam Taylor, through our shared production company for horror films. And I am acting in it. I am in it. But because I'm the other side of it, the acting is kind of like I really just throw it away. Like it's I show up for the day, I do it, and then we're off. But the casting process, I can tell you, it's never personal. Nothing is ever personal. So if there's one thing that if all you guys are watching, and you're up and coming, or you've done it for a little bit, and you're doing this and that, it's never personal, ever. Okay? It's never, never personal. It has nothing to do with I saw this person. No, I don't like this person. The job of the actor in the audition is not to impress the casting director. The job of the actor in the audition is to make the casting director's job easy,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I'm casting a film, I don't want to work. I don't want to have to go through 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 50, 100 tapes, right? I want to look at it. That's him. That's her. That's them, right? End. Cool. We got it. Moving on.
So the best
Because
idea that
as
really
soon as you
is
see
to
it, you see it.
be yourself and try to create the character that director expects from you, and it's the
No,
best idea.
no, 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 no. It's not that. It's not that because especially nowadays where the director's not in the room with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's only a self-tape and you're given a breakdown of the character. So let's say we're looking for a 30-year-old redhead, okay, wearing blue and white. So that's what we're looking for, okay? And you show up with black hair wearing red and black, okay? So that's zero of what we're looking for, okay? Cool. So instantly you're in a different room, okay? But if your delivery is the character, then you're making the job easy. Like you can have a really stellar audition. A lot of people have really stellar auditions, incredible auditions, but you're not the person. And unfortunately, you kind of have one shot at this with self-tapes if you're not an A-lister, right? You don't really have any coaching behind it. The casting director isn't there. The director's not there telling you, well, no, he's actually this. It's kind of like it's your best guess. And then just forget about it, man. Just like like there's nothing you can do. Just absolutely throw it away.
So it's very difficult, and these beginnings are very difficult. So the only advice we can give to the others: be sure that you want to do it and be patient.
Okay, if we want to talk about technicalities, right? Like the technical side of acting, there is technical sides of acting. Like there are things and tools that the actor have. There's a bag of tricks that the actor can pull out, right? But the number one thing in the very, very beginning for all actors, and this is for all of you guys, is line learning. Yeah, like if you can't memorize lines, and I don't mean like one-offs, like like little like one-liner things. I'm talking like 15 pages of dialogue. If you can't do that, then you have to learn how to do that. And there's ways to do it. There's memory tricks and things like that, but you have to be able to do that and do it very quickly because 9 times out of 10, the script that you see in the audition is not the script that you're going to get on the day, right? It's going to be completely different. You have to do completely different lines, which is why I always throw away my lines. I have no idea what happened after the audition because all that matters is the script. The script is the Bible, and the script changes all the time. So you have your white pages, blue pages, pink pages, yellow pages, and it happens all the way up to the day of shooting, right? So I did this one movie, and we were shooting the scene. It was a big scene, yeah, like a 5-page scene where basically I just spoke for 5 pages, right? I just did this big long-winded speech thing, right? Interjected with other people, but still it's like blah, 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 blah. Someone says something, blah, 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 other person says something. So lots and lots of dialogue. Okay, so I had it all off book. I was ready to rock. I get in my trailer, and the speech had completely changed. Right? It was backwards. It like he mitigated some stuff. He got rid of some stuff, added a whole new section, and I had to learn it 5 minutes before I walk on stage, or in this case, in front of the camera. But that's the game. That's the job, right? That is the job. So memory is first of all. Second of all is knowing camera angle and lenses, right? Like this is a huge thing. On camera, the lens is everything. It doesn't matter what's happening around you. The lens tells the story. Yeah. So if you don't know what the lens is doing and why it does it to you, then acting for camera is almost impossible. So if I say to my actor, if I'm directing, if I say to my actor, okay, we're on 24, right? I expect the actor to know what that means. Or if I say, okay, listen, we're on an 85, right? I expect the actor to know what that means. And what that means is the smaller the number, the wider it is. So this shot that like you see me right now would be like a 35. If I get up to here, that's like an 85, right? So and depending on how wide or how tight you are, will vary of how you deliver certain things. So if I'm out here, I can do all these things. I can talk like this. I can do big things when I'm extracting my dialogue. You're able to do that because you see more. If I'm here, then it's only my eyes. It's only small inflections. Do you understand? So knowing how to act for camera is really important.
And it's very good and important advice for people that are thinking about to be an actor. Can we speak about your singer career. Are you working on it yet, or you are mainly focused on directing the films right now?
Okay, so I have to backtrack. I'm not actually a singer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a musician. Like I'm a player. Like I
Mm-hmm.
play the track for other people. The singing stuff that you've been seeing me do is me singing to bed tracks that I'm trying to sell,
Mm-hmm.
right, for other singers. I am not a singer in any way, shape, or form. I've released records as me as the front man, yes, but I am not a singer. Like there are real singers in the world, and they are very, very good. I am not.
So you're mainly focusing on acting career and directing. And I have been watching your covers, and I have been watching you as a model. And to be honest, I have been extremely impressed. You are doing very good, and you are looking very good. And I would like to ask if being a model is a type of hobby, or maybe it's a type of other type of introducing yourself to people, because sometimes the shots, usually because I'm always also working as a model, for me is a type of art, the type of introducing my part of some character or maybe story to people. When I'm watching your shots, your covers, they are like paintings, like type of art, and it's very impressive. And tell me, is this the type of introducing yourself to people, or maybe type of art, or how are you using shots that you do present in magazines for yourself?
I use them as promo. Um, yeah, like the magazine stuff, like interviews, some like stuff like this, written interviews. If I have something to promote, I'll do like a magazine shoot. But really the influx, you're talking about the influx of like I've done a whole bunch of magazine covers in the past few years. So that was solely due to COVID. So
Mm-hmm.
when COVID hit, um, all acting stuff kind of shut down. The world shut down, but there were still some people, and post COVID, obviously, there's some people that were willing to go out and just do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So creatively, it was a creative outlet. And then these smaller magazines that I'm kind of like a part of, they were starting to get a voice in the market share. So everyone would know Vanity Fair or know Elle, right? But Movir and Pump and all these other kind of smaller magazines, and all these smaller magazines uh, didn't really have a voice. But during COVID, they became kind of a thing, right? With thousands and thousands of followers worldwide, hundreds of thousands of followers, millions of followers, and it became like a community. So really, I started doing it to do something during COVID, then to continue kind of promo stuff while I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't doing very much. Honestly, I did a lot of them, like quite a lot of them. I worked with some really great photographers who were just down to just do stuff to create art. I shot with some great people, ex-girlfriends, other models. Yeah, we just made a fun situation out of, or a fun time out of a really, really bad situation, i.e., a pandemic and a global shutdown.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then post COVID, I continued and did some promo stuff for other things, and then promoting TIFF and other film festivals. And if I have a movie out, I talk about that. I go on radio interviews and things like that. But I do use it as a promo.
Mm-hmm. But the covers that you're many promotional articles, shots of many celebrities are, I'm sorry to say that, guys, are boring. And it's just a straight shot, one of used in many magazines, and copy, print, the same interview. I don't know, sometimes I think it's even made by AI. as I said, your shots made me impressed. They are just looking good. So if in the future you are thinking about to be a model, it's something for you because you are looking very, very good. And next, and I think one of the last question. Do you have any project right now? I know you have because we have been speaking about it. What is your movie project focus right now? What type of film it will be, if you of course can speak about it?
The one that's in production right now, like we're shooting right
Mhm.
now, is a horror film. Working title is The Pale Descendant. And yeah, it's a classic horror, man. So I linked up with this guy named Adam Taylor,
Mhm.
and we hit it off, intellectually. We kind of like the same novels and the same types of horror because there are many different types of horror. Like horror is like a vast genre. Yeah. There's the slasher stuff, there's the macabre stuff, there's the gore stuff, there's the psychological stuff. So there's lots of stuff. But the types of stuff that we share, we really liked Clive Barker, like the Books of Blood and like the Clive Barker kind of universe, the more cerebral stuff. And we hit it off that way, as well as he's a linguistics major, and I've done Shakespeare and these kind of things. So like big verbose dialogue, with three-dimensional characters that are not only empathetic but have metaphor and allegory written into the text. So like stuff like that, like stuff that's a little bit more highbrow, right?
Mhm.
Um, Stuff as opposed to the fun slasher Freddy Krueger stuff. Our stuff is a little bit more highbrow. So this one is a classic horror shot in the classic way, very little VFX, practical makeup, practical gags, like lights will turn off and they're actually turning off, and we'll see something there and it's just disappeared. We're actually going to shoot that. It's not CG'd. And really it was just to show something that we can do. Yeah. So it snowballs into something much bigger. It is now actually a feature. So we're shooting a feature right now. Um, and yeah, it's kind of our inaugural kick at the can when it comes to what we consider horror cinema to be, and how horror cinema should be digested by the mass populace. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. Like we're making a horror movie, right? And horror movies, um, at least script wise, are very similar to comedies, in the
Mhm.
way they're written, right? So you have your setup, you have your hook, and then you have your punch. Just how in a comedy, right? You have your setup, you have your hook, and you have your punch. So just in horror, the punch is a jump scare, or the punch is a reveal, but there's really the same thing. Like the structure of a comedy and the structure of a horror are very, very similar. So we're having a blast, man. And then I have another project which is much, much bigger, with some of my guys out in LA, and that one is enormous. And that one's been on the back burner for, well, not even the back burner, all front burners, really. But trying to gain traction for the past like 3 years.
Mhm.
So, and all you guys, if you guys think this happens overnight, it does not. It takes 10 to 20 years to become an overnight success. And then, even if that does quote unquote happen, whatever your view of success is, right? Because that is like a very polarizing topic. Like, what is success? Like, what does that mean to you? But if you do reach whatever you consider success to be, then there's maintaining said success, right? And it doesn't happen, man. It just doesn't. Like the world does this all the time. Your career does
I
this all the
already
time.
did answer my next question. In your opinion, what is good advice for people who want to start? And this is a good advice. It does not come in the one day, in one night. It's a case of a lot of work. Thank you so much for your time. It was amazing conversation, and you know. Since a long time, I haven't been speaking with someone who has a lot of to say about work with so much amount of passion. And I want to thank you so much for this. And I hope for you all who are watching it, it will be good impression and good advice and good introduction of how does industry work, and that's why I want to thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.